DeAndre got the juice.
Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link, it'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, If you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel. Hold on 1 second. If you're serious about sports, you need more than just box scores. You need real insight. That's why Sports Info Solutions is the official partner of the Coach Smook Network. Sports Info Solutions is my go-to source for in-depth stat analysis, giving you the tools to truly understand player production, tendencies, and performance on a whole new level. From NFL, MLB to NBA, Sports Info Solutions delivers advanced data that helps fans, coaches, and analysts see the game behind the game. This isn't just stats, it's context. Looking ahead to the next generation of stars? Check out nfldraft.sportsinfosolutions.com for elite draft analysis and detailed prospect breakdown. Make it your new go-to stat tracker. Visit sportsinfosolutions.com today. Now let's get back in the game.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Oh, mic check. Now we good. Now we good. Now we got some audio. Y'all, we just had a few little last minute glitches before we came live. I could not go live for 20 minutes. But y'all give me a second, put my headphones back in. Give me 2 seconds. We got a crazy conversation for today. We're going to be talking the Bama quarterback battle. Y'all know y'all been waiting on it. I know a lot of people have been asking my intel on it. I've actually been holding on to some juicy info and some things going into this quarterback battle this spring. Some things that a lot of you all probably did not pay attention to last year that are going to help you kind of figure out how this quarterback battle should be played out and how the opportunities will be presented for themselves. Get yourself a hand clap, man. We don't have our sound tech on production manager on today, so I'll be double dutying today. But shout out to my team for being in the background and holding it down. Shout out to Mary J and Amanda doing they thug thizzle in the back. Y'all give it up for them, man. On the ones and twos, helping us operate this show at a level. Whew. Y'all, Mary J, you can take that down. You can take that down. We don't need it. Here we go. Today, live calling segment. Biggest debate, the biggest conversation in the offseason, chat. The quarterback battle. We got a lot of fans that feel like Austin Mack is the guy because he was the guy they was calling on last year to back up Ty Simpson. He got the most muck up time and all of this stuff. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it at an extensive rate today. I'm going to take majority of today's hour and a half, or we probably just go for an hour today. I'm going to take majority of it and just kind of present my thoughts on it. You know, no stat breakdown, just my viewpoint on what the best option is. And then I'm going to tell you all who the option is going to be. And when we kick off, what is it? What's the date? Is it September 7th? Let me look it up real quick. Alabama's. And like I said, today is a call-in segment. So I'm gonna open the phone lines here in about 20 minutes. We're gonna open the phone lines, and then we're gonna get into it. Let you all call in and share your thoughts. So schedule September 5th. September 5th, we kick off against Eastern Carolina. I guarantee you after today, I'm gonna give my take on who will be taking the first snaps in that game. And I will give my projection on how that is going to turn out for Alabama. If you look at the Alabama schedule for next season, y'all, it's shaping up to be a favorable schedule, minus the LSU game, and maybe at Tennessee. Well, I don't know. I have to see Tennessee's defense rebound. I know their offense is going to take a step back. They're going to take a few weeks to get back rolling, but just because they're trying to figure out the quarterback situation. I think Brandon Faison will be their starter coming into next season. Highly touted former 4-star, I believe, will be their guy. So Tennessee is going to be interested in hosting A&M at home, bringing them back on the schedule after not being on the schedule for 2 years. I think that's huge, not just for us, but just for the SEC with the surge that A&M had this past season. Then you got LSU after that one on November 7th. Y'all know that's going to be a big one. Lane Kiffin. We got to go down to Baton Rouge. Lane Kiffin, Kalen DeBoer, the offensive minds, going at it. That's going to be one to watch. Chattanooga, right before our final home game, Iron Bowl, back in T-Town this year, and I will be there front and center again. This will be my third year in a row. No? Yeah, third year in a row at the Iron Bowl. Third year in a row. So we making a little streak, y'all. So we're here at the 12-minute mark. I just wanted to give y'all time to tap in. We got a few people rolling in. If you're just not pulling up, make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. We've seen our subscriber base start to get back built up. Thank God. Y'all give it up for Jesus right now for allowing people to rejoin the community. We lost like 11 subscribers in the past 2 weeks. So over 14 days, we lost 11 subscribers. And in the past 2 days, we've gained about 8 subscribers. So thank y'all for tapping in. And continue to support and being the supportive community that you are. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. I don't have a lot of info or introductionary stuff. I just want to start this conversation. Alabama quarterback battle coming at you right now here on the Coach Smook Network. Somebody type it in the chat and say it loud and proud. Somebody say it.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Let's go.
You talking about Jalen Milroe and the Pips?
The perfect weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
Not going to take up a lot of time, but I want to say that I'm excited about what.
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
All right, AAA family, give it up for yourselves. Let's get into this conversation. Alabama quarterback battle. Y'all been waiting to talk about it. We've been ready to talk about it. We've been talking about it. We've talked about it since last year, since the young man came on campus. We're talking about the one and only Keelon Russell. And the assumed presumed for a lot of the fan base, they have this assumption that Austin Mack is going to be the foregone starter. And I think everybody respects the fact that there will be a quality competition there. But by the time we end this conversation today, hopefully we have a little bit more gauge. Hopefully you all have a little bit more gauge on what this quarterback looks like. And I'm going to break it down from a standpoint of not fandom, right? Just literally what the system designs, what it's designed for, and what it desires as far as the coaching staff, the play callers, what they desire as far as play calling ability and the skill sets needed by the quarterback to operate this at a high level. And when you all finally sit back and listen to what I'm saying, instead of trying, for all my goofy fans out there that try to keep making it about black and white, I don't know if y'all know, I think Austin Mack is mixed. If y'all didn't know, so for everybody that keep trying to come at me with this race bait and stuff, we just got out of Black History Month. Come on, y'all. Okay? Stop. Come on now. We gotta do better. I think I talk enough. I think I talk enough good football for y'all to let's have a football conversation. Stop trying to make it be something else other than that. Russell or Austin Mack? Keelon Russell or Austin Mack? This is how I look at it. Let's break down each player separately first. Let's start with the oldest. Let's start with the most veteran presence. That's Austin Mack. Let's look at his transition into college football. One, he came in a year early, was at Washington for a year. And a lot of people take that and they're like, oh, he's been in the system longer. I want y'all to know that his freshman year at Washington, there was no real push to have this young man compete for a starting role or a backup role, right? A lot of scout reps, a lot of developmental things happening during his transition into college football. There was no real projection for him to be the guy, next up guy. There was a 2-year development plan. So if you look at it, Austin Mack really is only truly a year ahead of Keelon Russell as far as his development. And we saw that Keelon Russell last year as a true freshman, there was no separation as far as skill set between he, Ty Simpson, or Austin Mack. The only separation in the quarterback battle in the Alabama quarterback room last season was the fact that your senior veteran presence of Ty Simpson and your more veteran presence of Austin Mack had more command and control of the huddle, right? Understanding and translating the calls coming from the sideline and echoing that to the offense, right? Look at the season we had last year. Does it look like our problem was getting the play call to the players and getting lined up? Yes, that looked like a big problem. So I could understand why they went with Ty Simpson and his ability to translate and pass that information on at the rate that he was doing. Now, if that's the case, if he was the best for that job at that time, then that's a bad situation for Austin Mack. And I want y'all to listen to me. All right. We talked about the pluses. Austin Mack 6'5", 6'6", 230 plus, right? Going to be a 4'6", big body, hard to bring down, can move in the pocket, can definitely throw the ball. He has a strong arm. The accuracy is not the best, but he has a strong arm. So the vertical concept is always in play. You trust his ability to protect the ball. You look at his high school film, high school highlights. You look at his stats from high school, not a high turnover type. I think he only had 1 year where he had more than 2,700 passing yards at the high school level. So he presents a true dual threat asset for your quarterback room. And then you look at just the framework of how he's developed in this system. You see how comfortable he is. Even when the passes aren't perfect, he's not a timid passer. At that, he will take his opportunities. So if he can clean up some of the small mechanic things, I think he puts himself in the driver's seat for this quarterback competition. Let's turn the page over before we start getting down and breaking this thing down to the T. Let's talk about Keelon Russell. Talking about the 2025 5-star quarterback, former SMU commit. A lot of people was looking at the fact that he was committed to SMU. If you don't know what's at SMU as far as offensive, the scheme, the staff available, you're talking about Rhett Lashley, one of the greatest offensive minds in college football right now. Definitely in the top 5 when you're talking about the Sarkisians and the Kiffins and the DeBoers of college football, right? The offensive minds that have kind of made their imprint in the game. Rhett Lashley is one of those guys, and he's done that at every system he's carried from each program he's been a part of. So it was not crazy to see a caliber quarterback like Keelon Russell, who's in the state of Texas, right? University of Texas, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, all of these schools are vying for him, but their systems don't necessarily fit his skill set. SMU and their vertical passing air raid like system, that was perfect for his skill set. The layering of the vertical passing concepts is what made Keelon Russell such a direct target for Kalen DeBoer and this staff. And I look at the investment, you're talking 6'3". Now he's 205. Now he's got a year under his belt of hearing the play call, seeing it done on the field, not being forced into situations where he was called and thrown into a fire. Keelon Russell, statistically last year, has had the best backup quarterback stats we've seen from a backup that hasn't had to start at least one game. Not once did he had to go in and play a series, an emergency snap this season. Everything was pickup time. Everything was garbage time. And his stats were still on pace. And if you look at what Tua did as a backup behind Jalen Hurts, he's on the same trajectory as Tua. The same amount of opportunities, right? Except Tua got that extra opportunity in the national championship game. I don't think people remember Tua had to forfeit his red shirt that season going into into the national championship game. He had to forfeit his red shirt. So a lot of people are looking at this quarterback battle and they're hype about Austin Mack because of what they got to see, and the staff kept putting him out there last year as the backup. And then you got the other half of the fan base that's like, Keelon Russell has to be the guy. Joe French, appreciate you for pulling up. He said Keelon just got skills that can't be taught. I agree. But I do think a lot of it was taught. That's why he's able to separate, because you have natural talent, right, that you can't coach. You got natural speed that you can't coach. And sometimes it takes a while for those guys to be put into a system or a scheme that they fit in. That's in any sport. You're talking about basketball, football, baseball. You have strengths and weaknesses, right? What's up, Bama Girl in Cali? You have strengths and weaknesses that kind of set you apart, but then also they limit you. Well, Russell has both sides of it. Mechanic-wise, you look at his dropbacks, you look at his follow-through, you look at his release points, you look at his the layering. Like I said, this is my key for why Keelon Russell is going to be able to be the starter, why he's going to be the starter. The way the way that he layers his vertical passes, meaning post, corners, nines, deep hitches, deep comebacks, the way he layers those passes and the timing that he's able to be able to do that on is what's going to separate him. This is something that he's consistently been getting better at since maybe his 10th grade year, when he really started establishing what type of quarterback he is. And he's not labeled, I don't think he's labeled as a dual threat, but Keelon Russell can hurt you with his legs. Talking about a young man that had over 700 rushing yards and 5K passing yards in a season. Somebody double check my stats. I think he had 5K passing and 700. That's dangerous, because now he's already throwing for 300-400 yards before you start having to play drop 8 coverage, and now you're only rushing 3, maybe 4 sometimes, and you're giving him 6-7 seconds in the pocket. You got to cover space for 6-7 seconds at the high school. That's why his stats look like they did, because of how efficient he was. Then you look at how he was able to operate in a lot of garbage time. I think honestly, scrimmage number 2 last season, scrimmage number 2 was the separation point in the spring. And I'm talking about the spring scrimmage. What's up, Ken? The spring scrimmage, not the fall, because the fall scrimmage, I just knew Keelon Russell was going to at least get an opportunity week 1 against Ty Simpson. I just felt like, just based off the performance in the second scrimmage, if you put as much weight into that's the performance factor of what happened in that. Ty Simpson had 0 touchdowns. Keelon Russell had 1 touchdown. Austin Mack had 2. No, this scrimmage, the fall scrimmage, is when Ty Simpson had the 2 touchdowns. Keelon Russell had 1. Ty Simpson also had 2 interceptions in that scrimmage. Keelon Russell had no interceptions. I think the completion percentage, Ty Simpson's, he had 3 incompletions. 2 of them was interceptions, right? 1 of them was just a throwaway. Then you had Keelon Russell. He had 5 incompletions, but 0 interceptions. 2 of them, 1 of them was a sack blown dead, right? And then the interception was on a tip off of wide receiver's hand. The timing was there. The RPOs, throwing guys in stride so they don't have to stop to catch the ball and then try to make a move when guys are coming down, from 10, 12 yards with that head of steam and ready to blow them up, Red Morgan style, Drake Kirkpatrick style. All right. So you kind of we label a few factors that kind of shape up the coming of this QB battle. Now let's talk about it. Let's talk about fits. Austin Mack, dual threat, big body, hard to bring down, very well versed in the system. Now he's been around this staff for a certain amount of time. This will be his 3rd season with Ryan Grubb, right? Because as a true freshman, early enrollee freshman at Washington, he had a year with Grubb. Then last year, when Grubb came back after taking a year apart from this staff, when they came over to Alabama, Matt got another season with him, right? Working with Nick Sheridan, who's no longer the QB coach, right? He's no longer at, is Sheridan still at Alabama? Nah, Coach Sheridan's gone, right? Right, so yeah, you got a new quarterback coach. So another set of eyes that's been around you, but not necessarily evaluating you as their particular job. They're going to be the is it Ellis? Ellis is going to be the one working directly with Grubb now, handling the quarterbacks. You look at that dynamic of it. Ellis was a huge factor, was huge in making contact with Keelon Russell.
So this is something that he's been eyeing. He's been having to work with Keelon Russell more so than any other quarterback coaches, right? A lot of times when you see not special teams, but scout team work, they usually take the number 3 quarterback and they literally are developing them in some aspects of running scout. You get to see different things, IQ, you get to see reads. So Russell has had that advantage of getting those type of reps against first team defense all last season. Mack has had to play the backup role. So, he's splitting reps. He and Russell split reps for the 2s last year, but most of his direction and you can tell by the pecking order they put it out there, most of his assignment was to be on the same level of cohesion or fluidity as Ty Simpson. You can't have a major drop off in communication. So if there was an established depth chart based off of just that alone, I do believe there's Ty Simpson, Austin Mack, and Keelon Russell last season. But now with everything kind of on an even playing field, all of the adjustments you've made to continue to build this offensive system, Ryan Grubb, Kalen DeBoer, Keelon Russell, and Austin Mack have been there for those adjustments. They've been there for the foundational setting of where they came in at, right? This is how it was introduced to me, and now they've had time to see the adjustments after it was introduced to them. So when I look at skill sets, let's talk about skill sets. Can I get a banner that says skill sets, Mary J? Skill sets. Let's talk about Austin Mack's skill set. Austin Mack's skill set, strong arm, right? Will protect the ball well. He doesn't turn the ball over a lot, right? You talk about his mechanics, still shaky in those mechanics, not consistent with the throwing motion. Release points are kind of shaky. The level of confidence on quick reads is still something that even against Indiana and some of the games in this past season, I can't really fault him for the Indiana game. That was just him showing a little pride, trying to get to finish on a strong note because that game got out of hand very, very quick. I think from a play calling style, from an effort style, from everything. So Austin Mack's skill set, when I look at it, I say you got the legs, not fast, but very strong runner, right? So you open up another phase of the playbook with him. RPO, quarterback run, regular read option, right? And with the skill sets at the offensive line, getting athletic bigs out in space to get hat on the hat, it'll be hard for a 6'5", 6'6" quarterback to be brought down in the open field if he runs tough, right? And then you got the opportunity to fake the give, dump it out to Aubrey Walker or Latsier Brooks or Ryan Williams, get them out in space quick, or fake the read, pull up, hit Sedarian Morgan, Derek Meadows, or Noah Rogers on a quick 9 off of press coverage because you've been killing them on the RPO screen, on the bubbles off the RPO, on the quick slant. So they're gonna press up. They gotta press up to kind of disrupt that. And the moment you can get an outside release, you gotta. So when you look at Austin Mack's skill set, everything that he has in his arsenal can create opportunities if you are having the right phase of play calling, right? But where do you get limited? The vertical passing game. Stronger arm than Ty Simpson, but way less accurate. Way less accurate. And it's been a consistency. That's kind of been his Achilles heel. The inconsistency on the deep ball and the intermediates, right? Very strong arm. When he completes those passes, they're darts, right? But then you can see that's only 2 of every 5. You got to have a higher completion percentage. You want a quarterback in this offense. If you're going to throw the ball 40 times a game, you want your completion percentage closer to the 60-65% mark than you want it to the 55-50 mark. I guarantee you. Especially when you're seeing so many underneath concepts trying to open up a bang play, 45 to 50% of the time in your pass play calling. All of these intermeshing and level concepts, right? These mesh concepts and level concepts underneath these vertical stems and things that you kind of layer out of that. You want a quarterback that can hit it on timing and their balls are layered the correct way. Skill sets. Keelon Russell skill set. Consistent, right? He's consistent. The every level, quicks, mids, intermediates, deep ball. Every pass looks similar as far as the mechanics, the releases, right? Even the release points, no matter if they're side, vertical. If he's shovel pass, like the timing and precision on all of his passes looks similar. It's very rarely that you will see Keelon throwing on air and his mechanics change up. No matter the pass. It could be a quick slant. The mechanic's not going to change. It could be a three-step drop. Throwing a far hash out concept, outside the numbers concept. They all look the same. And when you have that type of control, ball control, when you throw passes, that's dangerous to deal with. And this is a guy that's coming in as a red shirt freshman, right? He didn't have to burn a year coming in as a red shirt freshman. And you're talking about the skill sets, the legs are there. You're talking about a quarterback that he'll hit you for a 4.57, 4.59. That's good for a quarterback. Speaking of, we kind of talked about combine numbers for defensive tackles and linebackers. Y'all see how many 4.4s and 4.3s are being ran by these D linemen and edge rushers and linebackers? 4.6s, 4.8s. So in this day and age, you got to have a quarterback that can move. A 4.5 quarterback is optimal. What's up, Ashley? Good to see you, Shrimp. My Shrimp in the building. Shout out to my TikTok family, too. I'm sorry, Bama Pride. I see y'all over there. My guy, Antonio, my fault, y'all. Y'all know how I get when I get to rolling in these segments. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Y'all give it up for yourselves. And if you're coming in just now, we're here at the 30-minute mark. Just make sure you continue to run the likes up in the chat. Thank you, Shrimp, for tapping in on Twitch, too. Did I make you a mod over there? I gotta make you a mod. We're gonna do it in the commercial. Hopefully you still there. She don't even rock with she don't even watch football for real though, but she support her big brother. I appreciate her. Yeah, good guy back there. Haynes King 447. See, and that's what I'm saying. Haynes King is not nearly the type of passer that you're getting out of Keelon Russell. And I don't even think he's the same. I don't think he has the same quality of passing skill set as Austin Mack. And this guy was able to take a Georgia Tech system that found the balance in his skill sets and thrive in it. Change the game. Yeah, a lot of games he put the team on his back offensively to create sparks, but they built around him. They got some physical running assets in there and they helped him. I think this year with the running back room, the wide receivers, the offensive line, the tight end room, your quarterback situation, there's no excuses. What up, Russell? Good to see you. I think right now you have Austin Mack, who you're probably more confident in the fact that he's been on campus or he's been in the system for more years as fans. But I think when the coaches look at the skill sets available, I think their confidence in Austin Mack says, if we can't go with the more dynamic player, the more dynamic passer, the more proven skill set for this system, it may not be fully developed or at a level where it's developed at to where we can compete in week in and week out at every game in Keelon Russell. You have a backup in Austin Mack that you've kind of been shaping and molding. Austin Mack has kind of been your safe keep, right? He's the one, like Ty Simpson. You have the Ty Simpson and Jalen Miro situation. You have two quarterbacks, right? That can be your starter. One in Jalen Miro was just raw talent. You want to see some mechanic things clean up with him. And then Ty Simpson, he just didn't have it in between the ears, right? Too many mistakes, stacking mistakes, kind of like what we saw from him last year. You see the snowball effect with him. So you bank on developing Jalen Miro in the mechanics because some things you just can't coach. They could save you, his athleticism. But you have a safe keep in Ty Simpson, who all you gotta do is put it in front of him one time and he's gonna execute it at a game management level on a consistent basis. But what you can't gamble is, like, let's talk about competition level. With Jalen Miro, stuff break down. He not gonna fold. He gonna try to make something happen. You can give yourself a chance with it. Ty Simpson, he folds, right? Consistently get cement, feet can't move. So you gotta pick your poison when picking these quarterbacks. I think in this year's quarterback competition between Mack and Russell, the poison that you're picking out of Russell and Austin Mack, Keelon Russell. I think with Keelon Russell, you just going with this one major factor. Only one weakness in his evaluation right now is no collegiate experience as a starter. right? That's his only negative going against him. When I look at it, I can't say that it's his pocket presence. I've seen this live in these fall scrimmages. I've seen it. We've seen it live in garbage time during the games. It's not his pocket presence. Command of the huddle has to be better. Has to be better if he's been consistently. You see what happened when Ty Simpson gets injured. Both quarterbacks are warming up. The whole season, there's always the possibility of him going out there. What's up, Jordan? Good to see you, man. So I look at it and I say this, chat. When you only have the only thing going against you is and this is what I say. This is the funny. We going right field real quick. This is a funny that I like to put out there for all the Bama fans that attack younger Bama fans. When we tell you old Bama fans to get past the this ain't the Bama standard era, like that's just dead. That is dead. I laugh because when I call people fair weather fans or tell them that they need to catch up with the times, right? You see them say, "Man, I've been a Bama fan longer than you've been alive." Who gives a like? Nobody cares that your mom decided to show up a little bit earlier than my mom, right? Your mom and dad decided to get a little freaky before my mom and dad did. That's cool. That don't mean you know football or you understand what it takes to win a championship. Times have changed, and it's okay. It's okay for times to have changed. Are we lagging over there on TikTok? Let me know. Looks like we might be experiencing a few service issues right now, chat. Little internet service issue. Let me do a quick check. If so, we're gonna take a quick break. Go to a commercial break. So before I open the phone lines, let's break it down. Finally. It just started. Okay, yeah. It did just start on TikTok. Okay. Looks like we're okay. Just doing a little maintenance real quick. Shouldn't be that bad. We'll go to commercial break here in a second. What's up, Rutherford? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. My people pulling up. Y'all see, look, everybody thought I was done, y'all. I'm not done. We had to regroup. Keelon ran track for Duncanville. His speed doesn't get enough respect. Ken, I don't think people realize splits in the 100 to me matter more than a 40 split. I feel like your 100 splits are way more accurate than your 40 split, especially in the game of college football. I mean, in the game of football, we all know game speed is way different than straight line 40 prep speed. Like Russell can leave you, right? Leave your ankles where they are and your body be somewhere else. And if y'all pay attention, Austin Mack is not a runner that's going to try to run people over. He's a smart runner. So a lot of times that hesitancy might hold a quarterback back. Russell is very decisive in his decision making when creating plays. But when I line up the skill sets, you're talking about playmaking ability. Let's talk about the last quarterback that has success in this system under these two offensive minds in Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer. I talk about Michael Penix, right? 4.5K, 4,500 passing yards. His last year under Kalen DeBoer, 3,800 his first year. 35 touchdowns, passing touchdowns 1 year, 40 plus the next year. If there was an opportunity to build a replica of what Michael Penix, who was limited with his legs, right? Not near the threat of a Jaden Daniels from that season, right? And you look at what you have in Keelon, and you look at the skill sets that are similar compared to what you saw success with. You got Odunze, you got two versions of Odunze there with Derek Meadows and Sedarian Morgan. And then you bring in a Noah Rogers that's kind of like your what was his name? Polk was their do-it-all receiver, right? And then they had who was their third guy? They had another receiver at Washington that year. And to me, that's your Ryan Williams. I would not be mad if Ryan Williams is our third option this year. That means somebody's getting smoked every time you over him. If your third or fourth or fifth best cover is over Ryan Williams, we should be winning that more often than none. And people think that's a disrespect to Ryan Williams. No, that's perfect. That's how you want it. You want to build an offense around a quarterback like Keelon Russell. with his arm talent. So my final thought before we get into our first commercial break is, my take on this is, when we break it down, we look at what happens on the field. We saw it with Ty Simpson. We saw it with Jalen Miro. We saw it with Ryan Grubb. We seen it with Nick Sheridan, the play calling style that this offense wants to establish. And we had a caller the other day that made note of it. And I'm not going to say from a complaining standpoint, but with a standpoint of dissatisfaction, right? Not being so happy about it. You hear people always talking about, man, we need to run the ball more. I agree. I do agree we need to run the ball more, but you're not winning a national championship running the ball 65% of the game. 68%. That's what Saban era, all but one Saban national championship team ran the ball more than less than 50%. Did I say that right? All but one. No, all but one ran the ball more than 50%, 56%, right? 56% was the number. 56%. So when you look at it, like more than half your play calls under Saban area, the years that they won national championships or played for national championships, anywhere from 56 to 62% of the play calling was run game. Even in 2020 with Mac Jones, Najee Harris carried a lot of that load in 2020. So we got to go back and look at how the game has developed and what we're having to do to create space on the field and utilize the space on the field and understand what skill sets are needed. Don't just look at the hype because they were using last season to develop Mac in game-like situations, right? That's his opportunity to pad his place, to solidify his space and being considered a starter for next season. But the fact that Keelon Russell's only knock as a true freshman with 9 practices under his belt, not even 9 at that point. You're talking about his first scrimmage, they had 6 practices under their belts. 6 practices under that second scrimmage of the spring. I think you have 6 or 8 practices under your belt at that point. And the report and the evaluations and the everything on him was the only thing separating these quarterbacks is Ty Simpson's command and control of the huddle. All 3 quarterbacks are delivering the ball like they're supposed to. That's PR for, I got a true freshman that I might have to let loose. And if I do, y'all better watch out. Kelsey said, what's up, man? What's up, Shep? Y'all give it up for Shep. Nah, yeah, we're going to run the ball. But we won't run the ball under Ryan Grubb. We won't run the ball 60%. We won't get close to 60% run game. I mean, even you saw how many times we ran the ball against Florida State and the game kicked off and it was raining. We saw it the year before against Michigan, the Miro exit. How many passes? The first pass, the first interception thrown in that game was off of a RPO read. Like, they want to utilize space. In order to do that, you got to have a quarterback that can make the throws. The moment Keelon Russell takes the first snap, so you think teams can win with minimal running attack? Ohio State did it. They had two backs in Henderson, and who was the other back that year with Henderson? 2 years ago, who was the other back? Quinshawn Judkins and Henderson, right? Weren't they in the backfield together? You know what made their running attack explosive? They had backs that just averaging almost 6 yards per carry. They don't have backs hesitating. Their offensive line was very good, very experienced, but they didn't have backs hesitating. On average, you're gaining 4.5 yards with those backs. It's a running style problem. It ain't just play calling. If I call 25 run plays in a game, and I'm out of those 25 run plays, I'm giving it to my running backs 20 times, and we're only averaging, 2.3 yards per carry or something like that, and we're not losing yards. Why are we not putting our foot in the ground and getting upfield? Why are we not getting north and south? Why are we doing all this shimmy and shake? And you know what's crazy? A lot of people like to talk about Alabama's run game, right? I bet y'all wouldn't believe me if y'all go look at the stats
the amount of rushing attempts outside of the quarterback, right? Because Jalen Milroe was the big factor in why our run game was stagnant the first year under this system. But you look at the running back production, yards per carry, the amount of contact made behind the line of scrimmage from 2024 to 2025, that was a sizable difference. You're talking about of your carries in 2024 with Jalen Milroe, talking about contact behind the line of scrimmage, 54%, over half the times you're handing the ball off, you're getting contact behind the line of scrimmage. That's an offensive line problem. But then this year, when you're talking about the number being like 39%, 41%, one game it was 22% against Vanderbilt. You're getting quality offensive push. Your running backs just got to make it happen. But that's a whole different conversation. I think you open all that up, though. I think you open all that up with the right quarterback decision, the right pick at the quarterback. And I will tell you that quarterback is Keelon Russell right now. Skill sets available. You're not limited in what you could do play calling wise with Keelon Russell. You actually open the playbook all the way up with Keelon Russell. Talking about the utilization of his legs, the ability to layer all of his passes, no matter if it's the intermediate, the vertical, the quick game, the timing is there. The more defenses he sees, we're going to see some flaws. I'm not saying he's the perfect quarterback. He's not going to make any mistakes. You're going to see him make a few mistakes. But I think his turnover, just even how he was able to come into the collegiate ranks and start to learn the playbook enough to be competing for the starting job. I'm just saying, y'all, when I look at it as a coach and I look at what I have on roster, I have two freshman quarterbacks that I think are going to develop well if they stick around for the next 2.5 years, 3 years. Then and you got similar archetypes of quarterbacks as your freshman. You got the big and Tawa, right? And then you got Jet Tamala, who's more of your traditional, but still a dual threat with the same similar arm talent as Keelon Russell. So you're creating this persona of what type of quarterbacks you want in the room. And when I look at the projected version of offense that this staff continues to speak that they want to see, hitting the target number of explosives in the game, 6 to 8 explosives is what you want to hit in the game. Last year, only averaging 1.4, honestly, in a game. That's nowhere near the type of production you want to see from this offense. So I think Keelon Russell's the guy. He fits the narrative. He fits the skill sets, fit the system. All going to be commended. If last year has any indicator of where Keelon Russell stands with this staff and their investment in him being the next guy, I think he will be the guy coming out of week 2, week 3 of the spring ball. I think this year they'll make an early announcement too. There won't be any speculation going into fall based off of some of the things, speaking with some of the staff post after the workout last week. Just small talk about what's happening with these guys in workouts and their fourth quarter program. We had the privilege of working out with the Bama staff, some of the staff members at Bama. And it was a very great experience. And then just talking about some of the names that's coming up, the offensive line. That's why we did the show Monday last week, talking about the offensive line and defensive line, because that's all you heard about, the D-line athleticism and the guys showing up. So take what you want from this. Keelon Russell over Austin Mack for Coach Smook. That's my take. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to open the phone lines for about 30 minutes. We're going to open the phone lines. If you want to call in, 334-625-1121. Call in, share your thoughts on this spring's upcoming QB battle. Keelon Russell, Austin Mack. And in the midst of this, we can explore some intrusive thoughts, because I've had a thought that maybe Chet Tamala might find his way in a position. I like what he does. I like what the young man does, arm talent wise. His frame is already collegiate quarterback size. I like what our quarterback room looks like as a whole, as at the zero amount of experience, right? Starter experience in our room. Mind you, there's 0 starts, 0 collegiate starts in this room this season. I expect an explosion from this offensive output this season. But if y'all haven't already, take an opportunity to join the AAA family, continue to support the Coach Smook Network. And then we want to give a shout out to some of our partners here on the Coach Smook Network. Check us out, y'all. Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link. It'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community. And also, there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holla at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
At Walk-On's Sports Bistro, the games are on, the food's delicious, and here you are always part of the team. Welcome to Walk-On Sports Bistro, where every day is game day. Whether it's a post-win celebration, drinks after work, or taking the fam for some made-from-scratch favorites, Walk-On's is your go-to for good times, craft beer and cocktails, and bold flavors for fans of all ages. From melty mozzarella logs to Hall of Fame level burgers. Stop by today or order online or in the app. Walk-On's Sports Bistro. Game on.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
All right, family, let's get to it. 334-625-1121. Hopefully y'all like the new setup on the screen, man. We got a lot of activity right here on the screen for y'all, so hopefully y'all enjoy it. We got our first call on the line. Sound like, let's get it.
Call from
Zach Willie.
to accept, press 1.
Yo, Zach, what's up, man? You in the game, Coach Smook? Talk to me, man. Talk to me this morning.
What's good, Coach Smook and my AAA family? How are y'all doing this morning?
Man, I think we good today, Zach. I think we real good. We finally on the topic that everybody is talking about, and we're kind of getting tired of, I'm getting tired of seeing other people talk about it and the stances that they have on it. I just think it's so funny how people will take, right, like literally the most simplest thing, right, and have many factors that show you otherwise and still try to push narratives. That's why I'm glad I'm not mainstream media. But Zach, thoughts, man? Alabama quarterback battle. What's your thoughts on it? Give us your thoughts. We got 7 minutes on the line today. Everybody calling in today. Make sure you be mindful. You got 7 minutes on the line today. Go ahead, Zach. Give me your thoughts on the quarterback competition. Talk to me.
And my thoughts on the quarterback position is I think Keelon Russell's going to be the quarterback this year. Unless
unless the coaching staff does what they did last year and get and reward Austin Mack for him staying with them as long as he has, and I think that would be a mistake. It was a mistake last year because we gave Ty Simpson the benefit of the doubt because there wasn't any really any separation with the quarterbacks, outside of the command of the huddle, like you had said. But and with the skill sets that Keelon Russell brings, I think this offense would be more effective and more efficient than with Austin Mack. And not saying Austin Mack couldn't run the offense, because he could, but if you're going to win championships, you want to have a quarterback that from the intermediate passes to the vertical passes, you want to have accuracy. We get that with Keelon Russell from a more consistent standpoint than we do with Austin Mack. And both of them can run the ball, and have that capability. But I think Keelon Russell's legs is more of a threat than Austin Mack's legs from that standpoint. And I think we'll implement the run a little bit more this year. Not a lot, but I think we'll go to it when we need to, to open up the passing game, because there's going to be defenses that's going to allow us to run the ball this year, But yeah, I'm excited for the quarterback battle and to see how it plays out this year.
What do you think, Zach? When you look at the because I heard you say it, and I hear people continue to say it. When it comes to the legs of this quarterback room, Keelon Russell, to me, because he hasn't had, and I look at what he had in high school. You talking about? I think 3 of his receivers between, 5 out of 9 receivers between his sophomore and junior year. Sophomore and senior year. I think it might have been his freshman year too, because he took over towards the end of his freshman, like 4 games into his freshman year, I believe. He's had like 6 or 7 receivers go D1.
Right.
I think, to me, because he hasn't had to be a true dual threat throughout his career, his transition to the collegiate ranks, to me, would be more fluid and transitional because of the skill sets that he's been playing with for the last 4 or 5 years of his career. And for a guy like Austin Mack, that may be used to having to rely on his legs a lot more, game time situation is different than practice. It's controlled in practice. You don't have these narratives that you have to prepare for, right, in these game time situations.
Right.
I look at what Mack does. Yeah, it's good on film, but in game, we saw it against Indiana. He checked off a lot of reads early, and I know the game was out of reach, but he checked off a lot of reads early because of the pressure. He didn't, the pocket presence wasn't there. Yes, he got a couple passes off. He took a couple deep shots. He's not scared. I'm not saying he's scared, but the presence you need with those legs and having the pocket presence, I think Keelon Russell has an advantage in that because he's going to maximize and utilize the pocket as much as possible before he uses his legs. And that puts defenses in a bind. What you think about that?
And I agree with you. And see, Keelon Russell's skill sets reminds me a lot of Bryce's, but Keelon, to me, will have a better offensive line to where he won't have to rely on his legs all the time to create plays, like Bryce did.
Yeah.
Because we can all admit that offensive line that Bryce had his 2 years at Alabama was not good.
Hey, Zach, what offensive line?
Exactly.
What offensive line? That man was playing with tight ends and running backs. He got better protection from the running back room than he did from the offensive line that year.
Exactly. And so I agree with what you said. And not to doubt Austin Mack, I just don't think he would be a good quarterback in Alabama's system to carry them to a championship like Keelon Russell would, or even Jet Tamala, the freshman coming in. Because I've seen some stuff from Jet Tamala, in high school, and I've seen his highlights and stuff, and he's a good quarterback too, but I think we'll go Keelon Russell 2 years, and then maybe Jet Tamala. I don't know if he would end up being the next quarterback or even staying, because we have so many talented quarterbacks coming up, even in the next few recruiting classes, coming up. So I don't know. But overall for this year, if we want to win a championship, I would go with the best quarterback that gives us the opportunity to win a championship. And in my opinion, it's Keelon Russell over Austin Mack.
100%, Zach. Well, Zach, we appreciate you for sharing your thoughts on the QB battle, man. Everybody else in the chat, if you have not already, man, make sure y'all continue to run the likes up, jump on the phone line, and give us your thoughts. Zach, final thought, 30 seconds. Your hot take with the quarterback battle. You pick Keelon Russell. What's Keelon Russell stats look like if he's the starter for this season? Give me some hot take numbers.
I'll go 4,800 yards passing. And that 300 to 400 yards rushing type numbers. Not many rushing yards, but enough to kind of separate himself, to allow him to be the quarterback that he needs to be to carry us to a championship.
Facts, man. Well, Zach, I appreciate you for calling in, man, and you continue to get everybody. Zach, what you got to say to the people though? You ain't did a promo in a minute. I need a Zach promo with. Tell them about joining this AAA family, man.
Join the AAA family. If you're not a AAA member, you're missing out on all the quality information that only the members get. And if you're not in the Discord room, y'all need to join the Discord room and get in there, because y'all can get privy to information that you might not be able to get live.
100%. Well, Zach, we appreciate you, man, and you continue to support, man. Y'all give it up for Zach on the chat. Roll Tide, my brother.
Roll Tide, Coach Smook.
Yes, sir. We let Zach go a little bit longer, y'all. Y'all know y'all got to get the Zach attack on the phone, man. Every time Zach get on the line, he gonna bring some different perspective, great insight, always giving us and Zach has kind of embraced his role as like the fan analyst. Like, he gonna speak for the people, and it's hard to disagree with Zach with a lot of the things that he's saying. So I'm excited about what's happening in the quarterback battle. Speaking of, man, he spoke on Jet Tamala.
right? Jet Tamale is a guy that I've been very high on since probably his freshman year. I got to see some of his Elite 11 competition things last year. Seeing him in 7-on-7, OTE, those circuits and things of that nature. It's pretty cool seeing a prospect like him. But you talking about Jet Tamale, but we got a commit in Trent Seymour. I don't know if Elijah Haven flips and comes to Bama. You know, that might mix some things up as far as the future of the quarterback room. You might see Tamale and Kawhi go if Elijah Haven commits, because you're talking about Keelon Russell, right? Going to be your starter for 2 years, and you're going to be able to watch him be dynamic. And then Elijah Haven is another generational talent that, if everything phases correctly, he puts himself in position to compete as a red shirt sophomore. You know, 2 years on campus, he'll be competing in his third year. So it can get real sticky in this quarterback room over the next few years. 334-625-1121. We got time for one more call here on the Coach Smook Network, and then after that, we're going to open it up. On top of this, and I want to put a poll in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and put the poll in the chat. Should have had one at the beginning, anyways. Appreciate y'all for the likes on the stream too. We got 27 total likes, 28 people in the chat. Our numbers are getting back up there. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie, my feelings was hurting a little bit the other day when we jumped in live, and it was only like 10 people in here for like, cause y'all let the haters be right for the first time in almost a year. Y'all let them be right, and it don't matter. They don't really matter at the end of the day. But I will say I do take pride in my family showing up, my community showing up and supporting the network. And every time y'all show up, it's not just for my, like, ooh, this is for me, like, to show you that people do want to hear authentic Alabama sports coverage. Regardless of their feelings, you can disagree. We can disagree, have a different stance. But authentic coverage and not mainstream media push, I take that any day. That's why you don't see me collab with a lot of these platforms. You see some of the big names come over here and collab with me because of the space that we create. So we take pride in what we do, and we appreciate y'all for supporting. Let's take a quick break before we get another phone call on the line, and we're going to take an opportunity and just thank our sponsors and everything. And then after that, we'll get into the phone lines. We'll be on this topic for another 10, 15 minutes, try to get another phone call in. If we don't have another phone call, so be it. We end the show. We'll see y'all again on Thursday. Today's calling topic: will we see experience or elite talent at the quarterback one position? Meaning, Austin Mack with the experience, and we're not saying he's not talented, but I don't think he's elite, right? You got Austin Mack, and then you got Keelon Russell, the guy that could have started last year. I think everybody would have been fine if we went 10-2 last season in the regular season, got to the playoffs, beat Oklahoma, and lost to Indiana with a true freshman quarterback. I think the narrative with Alabama football, regardless of who left, as long as Keelon Russell came back, everybody would have a different type of mindset going into the season. But because we were cheated out of us an opportunity to see this offense really flourish, and I'm gonna say 20% of it was play calling. I'm gonna say 30%. 30% was play calling. Right? 30%. Let's be fair. 30% was play calling, right? I say 10% of it was offensive line. Another 30% was because of drop passes by your highest targeted receivers in Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams. I'm not going to say Ryan Williams' name first, even though his drops seem to be more impactful than Jeremy's. A lot of open drops from Ryan Williams. Let's you know what? Let's pick a little bit. But throw this down. Let's pick a little bit. I bumped the commercial, Mary J. I got a bone to pick. When you talk about Ty Simpson, right? And y'all know how critical I was on Ty Simpson. The fact that he did not take a lot of downfield opportunities. I go back and I watched games from last year, right? I watched the Wisconsin game. And then I watched the Vanderbilt game. And I watched the Missouri game. This is recent, right? I watched all these games in order. There are a lot of times where Latsier Brooks, Ryan Williams, Isaiah Horton, go watch second and 5, 2nd and 7. Ryan Grubb will dial up some quality passing plays. And I don't care if you gain 3 yards on first down, 4 yards on first down. If you call a pass play, third play of the game, and you see two guys streaking wide open and your quarterback's not even looking, I think you come right back to it and say, hey, if they give us this alignment again, this is what we had on this look.
Somebody had to recognize what they missed. They're going to correct. So be looking for what you were looking for originally to get quick. Pull them off their platform, get them out of their stance quick and hit them. Gain yards. But what you would see from Ty Simpson instead is, oh, this was open last time they gave that look. Coach told me that it was open. And instead of just keying on or instead of taking what is available, now you're trying to force something. That's what you saw against Vanderbilt. That 2-man play action concept, he did not have to throw that pass. He did not have to throw that pass. It was 4th and 2, 4th and 1. The reason you're getting the play action is to force the defense to respect the run. You get out to the perimeter, nobody in your face. You did not have to force that pass. You got 2 yards to gain. Your play action only putting you 6 to 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Got to be able to get to the edge to be the defensive end or outside linebacker. He has the ability. So those are small things that kind of played into it. But the primary factor, kind of like what we started with, was the open drops that we had last season. Ryan Williams had like 7 open drops in the first 4 weeks. Ryan Williams had 7 open drops. Now he had 9 total, I believe, in the first 5 weeks, but he had 7 open drops. The only one contested drop that he had in the first 4 weeks was that Florida State game. He dropped 2 open passes in that game. So how much can we really blame Ty Simpson? But and at the same time, you talk about the 2 or 3 passes that Ryan Williams would drop in the game. There were also 2 or 3 other opportunities where he could have hit a deep ball, led a wide receiver open to make a big play, to create explosives. So I think the mix, the missing ingredient for this season and the offense's success is solely in the quarterback room. It's solely in the quarterback room. I think your offensive line will continue to mesh. You got a different set of eyes, so personnel, juggling, and all of that stuff shouldn't be a thing, right? Especially if this year, I would love for all the position coaches to have full control of the pecking order and the rotation. Give it to the position coaches. They're working with these guys. They're evaluating. Just call plays, Ryan. Just call plays, Mr. Grubb. Don't dictate what guys you have on the offensive line because no. Let the offensive line coaches put the guys out there. That's why I love what the defense is doing. You see every position coach, you could tell they have control over who's being put out there to play. Got another call on line, 334. This looks like my brother Kelsey. Let's see it.
Call from
Kelsey Shepard.
Yo, Shep, what's up, man? You in the game with Coach Smook. Talk to me, man. Y'all give it up for Shep in the chat, y'all.
Man, one and only Coach Smook, the hottest show on this side of America. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Look, I need to come by the barbershop, man, get some clips. We got some we got spring ball kicking off soon, man. Y'all remember I told y'all cutting up with Coach Smook, man. We got First Place Barbershop is going to be the first site of the first episode of Cutting Up with Coach Smook. This is going to be one of the voices that you're going to get used to hearing here on the Coach Smook Network. Talk to me, Shep, this quarterback battle, man. We kind of talked about it last time I was in the shop in so many words, a real short conversation, but you got about 7 minutes, man. Give us your thoughts on how this Alabama quarterback battle is going to shape up.
Coach Smook, you came to the barbershop a few weeks ago, and you sit down in Sean's chair, and I looked at you in your face, and I told you, Coach Smook, I said, we could see a 2-quarterback system. Do that mean that one of the 2 won't start? No, it doesn't mean that. But did you hear that Keelon Russell has already stated that it doesn't matter whether or not he's number 1 or number 2, that he's bought into the program? I think Keelon Russell, I think he's deferring. I think he's willing to defer. I think that he understands that, because here's the thing. DeBoer, do you think DeBoer wants Austin Mack to transfer? A quarterback that he brought in? DeBoer does not want his guys to transfer. So I think that there are going to be some packages for Keelon Russell. And I know Keelon is y'all guy. I think Austin Mack may win the spot. This is just my opinion. But I do think that you will see some of Keelon Russell, and Jet Tamala could be your third option.
If we're getting down, if we're getting down to Jet Tamala, we have a problem. I want to get into this conversation, and we about to go barbershop style for about the next 5-6 minutes. If you go back and you look at the skill sets that was available on that Washington roster in 2024, let's just talk about the quarterback room. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. But you had Michael Penix, a fifth year at the time, fifth year guy, right? You had him, and I believe the backup quarterback was a former 4-star, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at this up. Hold on, chat. Give me 2 seconds. Washington football roster 2023. Huskies. Let's get in this roster. The quarterback room. This is what I want to talk about. So you had the senior Kai Horton came from I forget what school he came from, but you're talking about guys that were stuck in this room. Hold up, let me go back. It wasn't Kai Horton. 2023. And I think you make a solid point. I think you make a solid point when you're talking about Kalen DeBoer not wanting his guys to transfer, right? But I think Kalen DeBoer has always done this for his system, right? There has, even at the NAIA level, I forget what school he coached at, Sioux Falls. He would always pad his quarterback room with 2 specific skill sets. You have your passing specialist, right? For all the receiving assets that you recruit, because we know he's a wide receiver specialist, right? That's what he evaluates as a specialty. That's the position he played. That's his expertise. And you got Ryan Grubb, the quarterback developer, play caller, right? The two come hand in hand. So you have to allow Ryan Grubb to have his specific needs at the quarterback position to call the plays you want. But the management aspect of it is based off the receivers you have available. You look at the skill sets at the receiver level, you're not going to be leaning on your quarterback to utilize his legs. That's why Michael Penix found so much success year 2 at Washington than he did year 1. They didn't have those receiver assets. So because he didn't need to be a running quarterback 45-50% of the time when you putting play calls out there, that put him in position to be the lead guy as a starter going into that second year because of his arm talent. That's what put him. And so when I look at the similar scenario or what happened at Washington, when you have similar skill sets, you have 2 different specific skill sets of quarterback available. You got your full range, everything I need to be done at the quarterback position. If he develops at this rate, I need to develop it. This is my guy. But if we don't have the wide receivers, we don't have the offensive line, we got to go with the safe option. And that's an experienced guy that can really hold on to the ball, that's going to operate bigger in frame. You had that on both these sets in these scenarios. So now I look at it now, and they went with Penix, and it worked out for him because you had everything it set in motion. I said it earlier, and I'm going to keep saying it. Everything is in place but the quarterback position right now for Alabama. And I think Russell's skill set, when I look at what Grubb and Kalen DeBoer went with in 2023, I feel like that's what they'll fall back on and go with the arm talent, the full presence of the QB with all the weapons around him. Everything they feel like is set in place around him, Russell will be the guy.
And I mean, a lot of people feel like that. I think either quarterback, will come in and really, be the guy.
I feel like we can win with either one of them, Shep. I'm not saying that we can't. I think right now, our 2 leading quarterbacks, Mack and Russell, we can win. They can go to other schools and help programs win right now, both of them. Jet Tamala, it'll be a growing pain. Kawhi, I think we're very limited. Offensively, we might lose a lot of wide receivers because you don't see that growth in his passing game, his passing skill set yet. Going to definitely be a developmental talent like Mack was coming in as a true freshman.
Right.
So.
Right, but I'm telling you, and then also, it's going to be the quarterback that win the locker room too. It's gonna come down to the one that win the locker room.
Hey, if that's the case, Mack would have transferred last year, brother. You get what I'm saying?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Because the locker room wanted Russell last year over Ty Simpson. As much as great of a dude as Ty Simpson is, man, you would talk to receivers, running backs, that offensive side of the ball. They knew what they were getting in the future with Keelon Russell. Everybody saw it from the first scrimmage. Everybody saw it, and I honestly believe it was the touchdown, his first touchdown pass in the scrimmage, to Jalen Hale. The timing and the precision on that corner route, it gave off Bryce Young timing. You know, literally in the back corner of the end zone, and those were kind of like the things. Austin Mack, I have yet to see those type of passes on a consistent level. That's why, and literally, if he messed around and finds a rhythm and precision and timing during the spring, I believe he could be the starter. But Russell already has that. He just didn't know how to call the plays out under 7 seconds last year as a true freshman, early enrollee. He just that's literally what Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer told us last year, bro. They said our true freshman quarterback, who's just turning 18 years old in his first ever go around at the collegiate level, learning a semi NFL system, can't get the play calls out in under 7 seconds, and that's why we don't trust him to be the full-fledged starter for our team, our national championship competing team. That's what they told us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, I mean, so my thing is, like, why do you think Kalen DeBoer is still bringing in like 4- and 5-star quarterbacks?
You got to.
If he already had. Mm-hmm.
You got to. You don't stop recruiting because you have something, especially with NIL and transfer portal now. You don't stop recruiting, and that's how you start to decide. That's how you find who's the right guy. You got to create that competitive edge. This ain't the first time that we've seen multiple 5-star. You got to think. We had Ty Simpson, Bryce Young, Mac Jones on the roster at the same time. I believe Ty Simpson was a true freshman that year. You had Paul Tyson, Bear Bryant's grandson, on the roster. He was a 4-star. You had like Eli Holsting was a 4-star. Dylan Lonergan was a 4-star. This ain't the first time. You can look at Texas roster right now. I think they got 4 or 5 stars right now. It's not outside of the norm to have this many 4-star and 5-stars on your roster.
Yeah, I just, Coach, I just want the one man, that Bama can really lean on down the stretch, the one that can lead a football team, not just in the, in the regular season, but down in the stretch and postseason. And I think that's where your good teams kind of, a lot of teams that don't win national, it's just like Ohio State. Ohio State, they had a superb team, but the quarterback, but Julian Sand really didn't mastermind, in game times decisions down the stretch, and it cost them.
Yeah,
Julian Sand, yeah, he was a phenomenal quarterback, but he wasn't your typical championship quarterback.
Yeah,
I think a quarterback got to come. Yeah, I think a quarterback got to come wired with a championship pedigree. It just got to come. A quarterback, along with the OC, got to make those critical decisions in those critical moments. And a lot of times it's without the OC.
Yeah,
I don't think any football team can win the national title if that quarterback is not in sync with that team and got that team heartbeat. I'm not saying that neither one of the quarterbacks got it, but I don't think they have it just yet. I think we'll know who got it, of course, as we get through spring, But that quarterback, I remember Nick Saban, that asked Nick Saban, said, "Why haven't you named a quarterback? I started a quarterback." He said, "Well," he said, "either one of the guys can be starters."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "But what y'all fail to understand," he said, "But what y'all fail to understand is neither quarterback has won the locker room. Good God Almighty." He said, "Neither quarterback has won the team."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "This is about a team. Have you won the team? Either guy that I can put out of the day can be a starter, but has either one earned the right to earn the ears and the pulse of the team.
Jake
I
Coker.
think that's what we have at Alabama. I think that's the problem at Alabama. Has either one of those quarterbacks won the team? I know some people saying, "Oh, we want Keelon. Oh, we want," but unfortunately, Keelon was not the second string quarterback last year, and like you said, it's probably because of the offensive X's and O's and things of that nature. But you got to win the locker room,
Yeah. And I would, man, I'm so confident in this take about him having the locker room, brother. Like I do, I'm on Twitter a lot. I'm on Twitter a lot these days. And just my interactions with the players that are going live daily. We have conversations, man. And if Russell had transferred, Bama fans would really be reeling this offseason. Like if he had hit the portal because of the amount of people targeting him, knowing and this is another thing. People, they look at how many times Austin Mack got to play in those pickup time, those garbage times during last season, right? That's why Kalen DeBoer is keeping Austin Mack. I think Austin Mack is bought in just like Keelon Russell. I think Austin Mack knows that he's not the true prototypical quarterback for this system. I think Austin Mack knows that his skill set and what he does at a high level is a safe keep. It's a great backup option. You see so many backup quarterbacks at the collegiate level do just like Austin Mack. So many years, they just continue to develop Mac Jones did it. They continue to develop as backups, being able to go in and thrown into different situations throughout the season. And then when it's finally their time, because they're like the only legit option, they're good. They're in a good space. That's where I see Austin Mack. And just like you said, with Keelon Russell, I don't think he's deferring. I think he understands that this is his opportunity to start to lead, not just with his on-field performance or in-practice performance, but even his presence in front of the media, what he's saying. If he comes off as cocky as my job, nobody's going to get behind you. There's not many people that are going to get behind you. And then that also closes you off from receiving that encouragement, that teammate encouragement, that competitive nature that we build that makes you better, because the iron sharpen iron mentality. Knowing that you don't hold yourself in higher regard than me as your brother, as your teammate, or somebody that's competing against you for a job, that makes us respect each other and push each other. Because at the end of the day, like you said, Shep, we want to win games. So whoever's going to put us in position to do that, if they understand that and they can echo that and translate that, I think that's where we're going to see the best. But when it comes down to the skill sets, brother, and I'm a final out with this one. I got Keelon Russell, QB1. Who your QB1, Shep, as we get ready to get off this line and get ready to close this show out?
My QB1, I'm gonna go with what's already in place. I don't know enough about Keelon Russell. Is he a phenom? Absolutely. My QB1 is Austin Mack. I'll take him every day of the week. It's just something about his presence. He got a big boy presence. I think defenses respect him. He got a Cam Newton presence about himself now. I mean, when he's big, he he sends a message. Can Keelon Russell do the same thing? Probably so. But I think internally, right now, Austin Mack says, I'm the man. And somebody come and take it. Come get it from me.
I want y'all to remember something. I posted a screenshot from the scrimmage last year on my Twitter, and of the alpha roster, the alpha numeric roster, and the depth chart. And if y'all remember last year, it had QB1, Ty Simpson, and QB2, it had Austin Mack or Keelon Russell. If y'all pay attention to how the rest of the depth chart was, even in the running back room, when they have or, there's a consistency there. There's alphabetical order in those or spots. So don't get caught up in what happened during the season last year in garbage time when things didn't matter. Those are situational things. Hey, if we get the ball back and we up by 28 and we at the 40, Mac, you gonna go. If we on our own 20 and we gotta drive the field, we're gonna let Mac go. I mean, we're gonna let Russell go. We want to see him drive the field.
We want to see what Mack does with that. That's how they handled that last year. Don't get it twisted. Mack might have been the one going out there first, but he was not the decisive QB2. And I'm telling you all, just remember what Ryan Grubb said. The only separation in this room last year was the fact that Ty Simpson could get the play call out faster. Shep, I appreciate you for calling in, man, and roll tide, my brother.
But Coach, roll tide. But Coach, I want to pivot on. I want to call you out on your own show before we go.
Call me out because I'm gonna fire your ass up.
You came to the barbershop, Coach Smook, and you sat over there in Sean's chair for the second time, and you sat there and you argued about Ty Simpson. Looks like to me, Ty Simpson is having a heck of a.
This man want to talk about this man throwing on Ghost.
It looked like to me. I'm trying to. Did I tell you he was going first round?
I never said he wasn't going first round. He ain't the best quarterback in the draft. That's what the debate was. I never said he wasn't going first round.
Some of your analysts are saying that his tape looked better than
analysts who ain't watched him in a live game. Analysts who been sitting there watching highlights of all his best plays. These are analysts that literally get paid. They get sent film based off somebody else's idea, and they get sent the script of what to say on it. Stop it. We saw Ty Simpson in live game action. Any NFL type defense that showed up against Ty Simpson, he freaking folded. I expected him to look great in it. I expected him to look great in his little on-field workouts. I expected him to do great in those interviews because he did. Ty Simpson is going to have to develop in the system. He's a system quarterback. He's not dynamic. He's not the best quarterback in the draft. Nobody ever said he was trash. I just think that the hype that Alabama fans was trying to give him throughout the last 3-4 years of his career, it has never been that, and he proved it. He proved it last year.
And Coach Smook, by the way, I want to call you out on this also too, Coach Smook. I told you that Alabama didn't have a scheme for Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson has came out and said the scheme was bad. Coach Smook.
He ain't say the scheme was bad. He ain't say the scheme was bad.
Go on record, Coach Smook, in front of the nation, in front of the entire United States of America, and please admit that Alabama had bad schemes.
No, hell to the no. Bad scheme. Your quarterback got to be able to complete open passes, Shep. You got to kill that noise, Shep. Your quarterback got to be able to complete open passes. Open passes. That ain't nothing with scheme. If I got a freaking Lashare Brooks, a 4-3 wide receiver streaking past 2-3 yards, 5-6 yards past a DB, and that's incomplete because I'm underthrowing it, that ain't scheme. That's the quarterback. I can't throw a receiver open. That's the quarterback. I got 5 seconds in the pocket and I'm not completing the passes. I'm throwing the interception with 6 seconds in the pocket. That's the quarterback. Miss me with that.
But coach, I don't think our receivers work extra to get themselves open.
Work extra? Why I need to work extra if I'm beating them off the line? What I need to work extra for, Shep?
I think when Ty Simpson was looking down the barrel of the defense, he saw no one pop open. If you watch the
Shep, you ain't listening to what I said. That man can't throw nobody open. He can't throw nobody open.
Tight windows.
No, he wasn't.
He went six games throwing in tight windows.
No, he didn't.
And so when defenses start dropping 8, I mean, where you gonna place the ball?
They all see. That's the thing. That's the thing. If you see this, how I know you listening to them analysts that don't watch the games. If you go and watch the games, Bama only got pressure the first 4 weeks. The 4-man pressures, we was getting pressure for 63%. All of our pressures came off 4-man pressures. So they were dropping 7 and 8 majority of the season. The thing was, when it wasn't a decisive beat or a decisive mismatch, he didn't know how to throw receivers open. That's what made Tua so great, being able to lead receivers. I don't need my guy 6-7 yards open before I release the ball. If I see him get in the DB hip, he climbing in that doggone cushion, that DB hip, and he opening up late, I got to let the ball go in that transition phase. It was maybe 7 passes this whole season that we saw Ty Simpson do that. Isaiah Horton in that Auburn game, he did it in the Oklahoma playoff game. He did it in the Missouri game one time. 8 times out of 13 games, 14 games this season. 8 times is all I can remember.
So what do you think he's gonna be doing in the NFL? He gonna be throwing guys open.
He gonna be sitting on the bench for 2 years. He gonna be sitting on the bench for 2 years, learning the system.
Oh, cut it out. He will not be on the bench for 2 years. Ty Simpson gonna sit for 6 or 7 games. Like he gonna sit for a short while, and you will see him on the field, Coach Smook. And when he get on the field, you got to come in the barbershop, and I'll pay for your haircut, and I'll even fix, and I'll buy you a real plate. You
Ty Simpson, the only way Ty Simpson gonna start next season is if the starter in front of him gets injured. I don't care if he is a first-round draft pick. That man is not an NFL starter, bro.
Reddick Rock in the chat said stop it, Smook.
Man, Reddick Rock. You can go to hell too thinking about this crazy. Ty Simpson is not an elite quarterback, man. I don't know what y'all see in this man, bro. He proved it to us for 4 years. The same thing that Coach Saban said about him literally transpired this season with a whole new staff. 2 years in a new system, and it's literally the same thing show up. Y'all love to talk about what Coach Saban did when he was at Bama, being the GOAT, and he know if he don't say it about football, then it ain't true. He literally said this about Ty Simpson. Come on, Shep.
Why didn't Mendoza throw at pro day? Why? I mean, at the combine.
He didn't need to. He been in college for 6 years. He been in college for 6 years. Did Bryce throw it? Did Bryce throw at the combine after he won the Heisman and competed for a national championship? Did Bryce? Why when he had one of the highest completion percentages in college football against multiple top 25 defenses?
And so did Ty Simpson.
No, he didn't. Zero. Stop it. His worst games were against top 25 defenses. Stop it, Shep. Man, stop. Against who? Man, let me. I'm about to light your ass up. Let's talk about Ty Simpson. You brought this up. Chat. He done made me go another 15 minutes. Y'all, Ty Simpson? Bro, you talking about against what he do against Georgia? What he do against Georgia? Talk to me. What he do against Georgia? What he do against Georgia?
The whole Bama team.
What did Ty Simpson do against Georgia? What did Ty Simpson do against Indiana? What did Ty Simpson do against doggone Oklahoma at home against another team that had a struggling offense? That defense.
They set the whole offense on his shoulder. The whole
offense. Didn't. Stop it. He failed. That's what makes him regular. You literally are giving me more ammunition for my point. The moment they had to put it on his shoulders, every opportunity he had to change the narrative around who he was as a quarterback, how he could be an elite talent, he failed. Every time. Not once did Ty Simpson make a game-changing play for Alabama this season. Give me one. Give me one.
I'm just going to digress because it seems like the chat is on your side. I'm just going to let you win. I'm going to tap out like this.
Nah, you ain't going to let me win. I did win. Ain't no you let me do nothing. You ain't let me do nothing, Shep. You ain't let me do nothing.
Ty Simpson, you will see him. He will not sit for 2 years. I bet you that.
I bet you.
Shop in about another year.
I'm gonna be in that mug kickoff weekend, NFL kickoff weekend. I'm gonna be in there week 3, week 4, week 7, week 9. Look when Bryce. Hey, did Bryce Young start his rookie year? Bryce Young came in and started. Huh?
Bryce Young wasn't ready.
You think Ty Simpson is a better quarterback than Bryce Young?
Ty Simpson is ready. Ty Simpson is ready. Listen, they already saying that.
Hey, Shep.
Shep. Listen to you.
I'm listening.
They said he could go to the Steelers and sit a little while behind Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers is in the league, and they're saying right now that he could take Aaron Rodgers' position with the Steelers. There you go, buddy. Aaron Rodgers is a legend. If Ty Simpson go to the Steelers, he's gonna be the next Aaron Rodgers on that team.
Man, Aaron Rodgers ain't doing that for Pittsburgh. This ain't Green Bay. You talking about a 47-year-old?
I'm gonna go on record and say this: Ty Simpson will win a Super Bowl within 2 years. Thank you, Smoke. You have a good. Thank you for letting me bringing me on.
Hey, that boy hot. Hey, all right, Shep. Y'all get Shep off my damn line, man. Y'all give it up for Shep, man. That's the type of energy you want on these call-ins, y'all. And y'all see that's family too. So y'all see we can talk and still not be in our feelings, man. It's all fun. He definitely trolling. He said Ty Simpson gonna be. If Ty Simpson win a Super Bowl in his first 10 years, it's gonna be the same way Jalen Miro won one. As a backup. Talk to me. Stop playing. Y'all come on, man.
That's the. And I'm not dogging Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson to me will have a similar career like Sam Darnold. He's going to go through some real early high expectations. He's not going to meet them. He does not have the escapability that you need at the NFL level, especially with the type of speed on the defensive line. The things you need from the things. What's up, James? The things you need from a quarterback at the collegiate level, he couldn't even maximize that. He talking about Fernando Mendoza. I'll take Fernando Mendoza just because of composure. We saw Fernando Mendoza kill every defense every week. He utilized every phase of his skill set as a quarterback. Ty Simpson froze up against Florida State week 1, missed on 2 touchdown passes in that game. Not drops. I'm talking about touchdown passes. Isaiah Brooks streaking for 1. Jeremy Bernard streaking for 1. Hell, Josh Cuevas. He missed Josh Cuevas on a wide open post, dumping it underneath to Ryan Williams. Is that play calling? You know what? As an offensive coordinator, I could call a play. Let's go split. Gun split right. Wide off. 8-7-8 zig. Right? Let's go out there. And we're gonna hot check a 7. We're gonna hot check a 7 to the tight end. Right? We want verticals in the post. We see cover 2. You know what happens in cover 2? They got deep halves. So they're going to drop outside the numbers, right? Your linebacker has to be able to make up this space underneath the safety coverage, and your corners, they're either cloud flat or hard flat, either one. They're playing, anywhere from 5 to 10 yards off the line of scrimmage, or they're covering those zones 5 to 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. So when those 2 safeties go dive deep halves to cover, the middle of the field is open. We saw that twice against Florida State, not once. And Florida State runs a 3-3-5, so they run like a 3 high look. They running their safety down in the box heavy, aggressively, and not once did Ty Simpson attack the middle of the field with confidence. Fernando Mendoza, though, even the Moore kid out at Oregon, Ty Simpson, he's definitely one of the top 5 quarterbacks in this draft. There has not been a question about that. But to say that he's going to start at the next level, how can you say that after what he showed us this past season? I'm lost, y'all. Y'all, that's been a crazy show today, man. Yeah, but 1 and 2 half of IU team been playing college football. It don't matter, Mary J. It don't matter. When we talk about skill sets and what quarterbacks got to do in order to win, Ty Simpson is not able to do it yet. Simple as that. I'm sorry. No, that man gonna be in New York on the bench, covered up in the snow for 2 years. I don't think he gonna be. I don't think he's gonna sit for more than 3 years, 4 years. I think Ty Simpson's gonna have a solid career. I said this even beforehand. I think once he's able to sit somewhere with a coordinator or a system that says this is how we are here, like that hasn't been his case at the collegiate level. This is who we are, and this is how we're going to build. Even when you bring in different coordinators, like there's a certain level of interaction and in-depth work that you can do. See, in college, you still got class and stuff. At the NFL level, this is your 24/7 job. This is your 9 to 5. So with that being said, y'all, let's get out of here, man. Let's get out of here. Let's get ready to close the show out. I appreciate y'all. That was 2 great calls, Zach and my guy, Kelsey Shep, tapping in today, showing some love. Y'all, we about to close out. I'm going to get right with y'all right after these messages. Listen, if you have not joined the AAA family, you need to do so. And then just support the rest of our content, man. Everything that we got going on, y'all continue to show up and support us, man. Check it out.
All right, family. That's going to do it for today's show here on the Coach Smook Network. Once again, I'm your host, Coach Smook, your favorite Alabama insider and sports media personality. And I truly appreciate every one of you for rocking with us today. Before you head out, make sure you like this video, share it with somebody who needs to be a part of this conversation. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you stay locked in with everything we've got coming your way. We're trying to reach some goals here. And if you believe in what we're building here, I encourage you to take that next step and become a member of the AAA family. Remember, our mantra is authenticity above all. This community is built on real conversations and real insight and real information surrounding sports entertainment. Your membership directly supports the growth of the Coach Smook Network, and every hard-earned dollar contributed is not only appreciated, it's paid for through our monthly contributions to community health and awareness organizations. So you're not just supporting a YouTube channel, you're supporting a cause. Also, don't forget to check out the Coach Smook merch. We've got hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. It's a great way to show love and support for the network and rep the brand wherever you go. You can find the merch link in our main YouTube page and in the description. Put me in the game, coach. And if you want to stay connected and get more involved with the community, be sure to join the Discord. Just type the command in the live chat or head over to our main YouTube page and click the Linktree link in the description. You can also stay connected with us directly for collaborations, appearances, community service opportunities, and business inquiries by emailing us at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com. Our staff will respond in a timely manner. And for those who want to show additional love, you can always donate directly to the Coach Smook Network through Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Every bit of support helps us continue to grow and elevate this platform. We also want to send a huge thank you to our sponsors and partners: Walk On Sports Bistro, Sports Info Solutions, Helping Hands LLC, Men of Standard Executive Security, Goomba Bully Killnos, and most of all, the AAA Phantom. None of this is possible without you. Once again, thank you for all your support, the energy, and the authenticity you bring to the space. Until next time, family, stay safe, stay locked in, and when you see me in the streets, holla at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Catch you on the next one. All right, AAA family, I'm trying something different, man, so y'all gonna have to check it out one day. We got a green wall set up at the new spot, so I just want to see how the camera look. Y'all see we got the screen up right now. I want to see how it look real quick before we get out of here. All right, man, this is gonna be straight. Hey, so thank y'all for tapping in today. Again, I'm your boy Coach Smook here on the Coach Smook Network. AAA family, continue to run this likes and shares up. We'll be live again what's today, Tuesday? We'll be live again Wednesday, tomorrow at noon. All my high school athletes that are looking to get their film out and get some exposure, tap in Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, tap into the DMs, and we're going to get this thing popping, man. We're going to get this thing popping. Check them out, Coach Season 1 Exposure Series. We'll be kicking off the first episode in May, but up until then, we'll be doing highlight reviews, so check us out. And then spring coverage, spring ball, all the practices and everything. We've already started preseason workouts. Spring ball kickoff is next week, and then we'll be covering it. We'll be making our presence felt there on campus, covering Bama spring ball. So y'all excited about everything going forward with the Coach Smook Network? Continue to like, share, subscribe, and remember, I got to teach Amanda how to do this. When you see me in the streets, holla at me and say it.
Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
All right, y'all be blessed, man, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Roll Tide to my AAA family, and authenticity above all, man.
Authenticity above all, that's where I stand. If you ain't a real fan, you a fair weather fan. They tried to box me in, and I kicked the dough off the frame. Turn the pressure into power, put my stamp on the game. Put me in the game, coach, in the game. Put me in the game, Coach Smook, that's what they saying. Put me in the game, coach, in the game. Put me in the game, Coach Smook, that's what they saying.
Players and the staff are pulling up right now for today's scrimmage. Coach David Ballou in the front. Y'all can see everybody pulling up, man. Them boys over there look at Deontay
Hey, y'all, I'm walking out of Walmart. Check, what's your name, bro?
Man, my name Michael McKinney, man. I'm a true Alabama fan, and this man does a good job on his podcast.